right, while my nuggets are in the air fryer right now, we need to have some serious conversations about Dak Prescott and CD Lamb. Now, for those who didn't watch the Eagles versus Cowboys in primetime week one, I just got to say you missed out on a pretty solid game because football is back, baby. Let's go. But this game kind of pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. Dak Prescott, the whole game, well, most of the game, I should say, he was just throwing the hospital pass after hospital pass, throwing into double coverage, throwing it into like unnecessary, like he's just creating unnecessary situations where he's making it harder for himself to actually make the throws that he is capable of throwing. And that's very frustrating. But CD Lamb, my goodness, CD Lamb, he fumbled this game. He fumbled this game. He could have gave Dak Prescott a chance to actually come out with the win, but man, from my count, from where I watched the game, he had like three key drops in the game where it could have put him at like 150 yards and 10 receptions. He could have had more if he would have held on to those catches. And it just didn't happen. He still finished with a really great game, 7 receptions, 110 yards, 15.7 yards per reception is absolutely insane. No touchdowns because Dak Prescott didn't throw any touchdowns, nor he threw any interceptions. Dak Prescott finished the game with 21 for 34, completion percentage, 188 yards, and no touchdowns, no picks. But this team just got absolutely shut down, like in the fourth quarter. And mind you, I haven't even brought up the Eagles yet because credit to the Eagles, they came out and they got a win. They did what they needed to do. They didn't play the they didn't play the flashiest game, but they played a very clean and efficient game. You know, but the reason why I'm talking about the Cowboys is because, well, one, they're America's team. Everybody's going to be talking about the Cowboys, especially when they're still getting prime time television games, even though on paper they are pretty disappointing. But I'm not going to lie, the defense showed out this game. This, like, I'm okay. I just dropped my dustpan. Anywho, the defense looked really solid this game. Like they were able to shut down Saquon Barkley. They limited him to 62 yards. Excuse me, that's Jalen Hurts. They limit Saquon Barkley to 60 yards off of 18 carries, even though he did score a touchdown. You know, you like to see that. You like to see you were able to stop their star player, but unfortunately, the Eagles just has way too many weapons. You have Jalen Hurts as a passer and a rusher. He got 62 carries, or excuse me, 62 yards on 14 carries. Um, AJ Brown, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith had a quiet game. AJ Brown only had one catch for 8 yards. Devonta Smith 3 receptions, 16 yards. Like quiet game. I'm not going to throw out any red flags just yet because the Eagles did get a win. Really, all they did was just ground and pound for most of the game and then just threw it when they needed to throw it, you know. And that's kind of the Eagles' game plan, establish the run, ground and pound with Saquon and Jalen Hurts, and then use that to, get your weapons open. Jahan Dotson led the Eagles in receiving yards with 59 yards on 3 receptions, so good for him. You know, hopefully he can be a sneaky good player for the Eagles. Um, but yeah, Dak Prescott is not showing that he is an elite quarterback, and a lot of people like to mention that Dak Prescott at one point has been an MVP candidate, but the way that he played and the amount of chances that he had to lead the offense to at least get a field goal, like not once I saw them in the fourth quarter reach the red zone. And that is scary because the defense did what they needed to do for like the final 5 drives or so. And not one time the Cowboys capitalized. Mind you, in the fourth quarter, nobody scored. So the score stayed 24-20 from like middle of the third quarter all the way to the end of the game. So you mean to tell me you had all those chances to shoot my Nuggets. But y'all understand, I don't think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Excuse me, I don't think he's an elite quarterback. And CeeDee Lamb is the quintessential bouncer to elite receivers like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, for example, because even though he had 110 yards off of 7 catches, plays that he should have been able to make, he didn't make them. And that's what separates, the very good receivers from the elite. Thank y'all for listening to my yet. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all. And thank y'all for 200 subs. Yo, I've never had the chance to tell y'all, but I really appreciate y'all sticking around. I'm going to try and make some more content for y'all.